Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. First, Hunter McCall is back, which is awesome. We'll chat more about that. I'm sure Adam here is very excited about that. But as we were talking about, look who else is here. We're joined by Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch. How you been, Adam?
Been great, been busy.
Good. Yeah, super busy. I know, this guy's out, and all of a sudden got a couple more shifts to cover. So everybody's happy Hunter's back, especially Adam here.
Amen.
So today we're going to be chatting with Adam about his recent trip to Vietnam. But first, I want to know how both of your guys' trips to, you were both in Orr, Minnesota at the exact same time.
Like ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
I was towards the end of my vacation when you came up, and so we didn't actually get to see each other for a little bit. But you were out on the water, I know, for a little bit. How did that go for you?
Not great. The wind made it pretty much impossible for us to stay on any spot to go fishing.
Yeah.
So I was able to find some schools of crappie, but man, that wind just kept pushing. We also had a pontoon, which is not ideal in the wind.
Yes.
Sure.
And it was kind of cold, too.
Yeah. When we got up there on Friday, it was beautiful.
Yep.
And then Saturday, it was just brutally cold and windy.
And
so
it seemed like you had a lot of, I think we have photos too, with little Abby. It seemed like she had a fun time. And also got to bring Cosmo to Orr, Minnesota.
Of course, yeah. So here's the whole family. That's my wife and mom in the background, and Abby and myself hanging out at the beach on Friday. This was back when it was warm, and of course Cosmo got to join, and he had the time of his life. Abby had a ton of fun climbing on the jungle gym and going down the slide and playing with friends, and yeah, it was overall just a good family vacation.
Has Abby been on a pontoon before? Is this her first time or no?
Yeah, but as she's getting old, like she doesn't remember a year ago when we took her out. And so she was actually nervous at first. The whole way there, she kept on saying, boat, 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 and cabin. Because we told her that we're going on a boat and to the cabin. And then she was nervous when we got to the boat, but she got on and then she had a ball.
Does she have her own fishing pole as she started fishing it? Okay.
Not yet.
When does that happen? Probably 2 or 3 years?
This year I hope to get her out on a boat at some point and do a little bit of fishing. Cool. So, yeah.
You got to get one of the little Dora the Explorer fishing rods.
Retractable
RV ones, Those are always fun. Let's hop into our Vietnam conversation. First, let's talk about the adventure getting there. It's not like we're flying to Chicago or anything. We're flying all the way across the ocean. I mean, it must have been a long trip.
It was. So the first leg was from Minneapolis to Saigon, or not Saigon, Seoul.
Sure. South Korea?
Yep, South Korea. And so I was lucky enough to sit Delta One, which is like where you get to lay down. So yeah, the trip there, I honestly slept for like 7 or 8 hours. Wow. For that first leg, and then the second leg from Seoul to.
Is it Ho Chi Minh?
Ho Chi Minh, yeah. Thank you. I was
going through these Facebook posts, so I know a lot about it.
So Seoul to Ho Chi Minh was like 5 or 6 hours, and then you have to go through immigration there, and immigration is like, the line was like 3 hours long, but we prepaid to get like a shortcut.
Nice.
It was like $60 or something to like cut the line essentially, and we got through, and we got our bags within like 20 minutes. It was incredible.
Do you need a visa or anything?
Okay. Yep. So you need to apply for a visa 3 weeks before or 3 or 4 weeks before your trip, and usually it gets done. I did mess up my name on the visa, and that screwed up my ticket.
Ooh.
And so
they don't like that.
When I was in South Korea, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to figure something else out here because my middle name and first name were swapped."
Gotcha.
Their website is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's always something like that. Oh my
Are you one of those guys that gets nervous on airplanes at all? How do you handle a long flight?
This guy does.
I do.
I mean, a cocktail bar helps.
Yes, it does. Amen. Takes the edge off a little bit.
Doesn't hurt. So you successfully made it into Vietnam, which is obviously great news. So you arrive. Day one, it sounds like you're in Ho Chi Minh. You got to listen to the Wild game. This was a number of weeks ago, so the Wild were in the playoffs. You also got a foot massage, and then it seems like a theme throughout the trip too, which is awesome. You got to take advantage of some delicious food.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the first day we went and got fit for some suits as well. Because suits are much cheaper there, like handmade from scratch, custom suit. And so I believe this is my brother and I just outside of that shop getting fit for suits. So yeah, it was a great experience.
What's a staple Vietnamese food? Or maybe multiple things that you eat?
Yeah, pho is like the number one kind of most well-known food. We have Phoholic here in Duluth, fantastic, and honestly very, very traditional to what you can get in Vietnam. I will say that. Then we had a meal called Boni, which I think you might have a picture later on in the show of it. It's like a little skillet with some beef and some fresh bread and a fried egg and some pate and just this little street corner, and it's the best food. And it was like my brother and I ate for $7.
Yeah.
You know?
That's amazing.
perfect.
Yeah, a bowl of pho costs less than $5.
Wow.
With a beer.
Oh, nice. Of course. And then a Vietnamese coffee, too, obviously a big thing.
Yep, Vietnamese coffee is huge over there.
Is that just sweetened condensed milk?
sweetened condensed milk, but it's also significantly stronger.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it tastes better and more effective.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I got smalls the entire time I was there, just because like I drink a coffee a day here, like it's not a huge thing for me, but there, yeah, just a little coffee is all I need.
You got to take it easy. So you're there, you're on day one. Now we're on day two. You're actually back at the airport. You decided I want to fly some more. So you flew to a small island, and it sounds like you enjoyed some time at a resort there?
Yeah, so the island is called Phu Quoc, and it's...
Sounds like you just swore.
I know. I swear I didn't. And so it's actually closer to Cambodia than it is to Vietnam. So it's right off the coast of Cambodia. But yeah, we had this villa. I think it was like $300 a night for like a 3-bedroom with your own private pool. It's incredibly cheap there. Everything is so inexpensive once you get there. Beautiful beach. This is great food. I think it's some sort of lobster. Oh, that's lobster curry that my dad got. Yeah, that was super good. I got the Korean chicken that night, and Korean chicken like in that part.
Yeah.
So good.
Really?
Yeah, 100% like get it when you're out there.
And also just to remind the folks, your dad now lives over there.
Yeah, so my dad retired 3 years ago. He traveled a lot of Asia for work and then decided that he wanted to retire out there. It is super, super cheap, to live there. So that's one of the reasons.
We'll talk more with Adam coming up next here on Northern Life. Welcome back, everybody. Still joined by Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch, talking about his recent trip to Vietnam. So you're back on the beach day 3.
Yep.
You're relaxing, and on Facebook you said you got to order a grilled coral grouper.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful sight there, too.
Yeah, so that's the main pool at the resort that you're seeing. They're huge. Tons of families. There's that whole grilled grouper. And so that was caught fresh that morning, and they had it live in a fish tank. And I was like, well, I can't pass up.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Ordering
awesome.
a fresh fish that was just caught this morning. So yeah, we all dug into that, and that was phenomenal. Such a good tasting fish and cooked to perfection there. We had a bunch of side dishes as well. And that meal was actually outside, kind of on the beach. You can see right there. There's beautifully lit as well.
Did you check the scale before your trip and after?
No.
You probably sweated all out because it was hot there.
Yeah, we did do a lot of walking
I bet.
as well. So yeah.
Well, let's you go back to Ho Chi Minh after you take this little flight to the island. And we actually do have some photos of you getting that suit on in Vietnam. How many suits do you now have from the country over there?
So far, 4 of my 6 suits are from Vietnam.
Nice.
So yeah, they're just super affordable. I've gone to that same tailor now twice, and he does an excellent job. The language barrier isn't that big of a deal. And then here's some food that we had the night that we got back from the island. Not gonna lie, my brother and I were up super late the night before. But we were talking to a woman from Kazakhstan and a man from Ho Chi Minh City who are about our age, just about politics and the economy and the world. And it was super fascinating. So we were up super late doing that, and then that was kind of like a little hungover dinner that we had right next to our hotel.
What was that like? Obviously, we take America's culture for granted sometimes. So what was the culture like in Vietnam? What was your everyday experience like with the people?
The people are amazing. It's become a very Western country. It's a communist government, but it's basically a capitalist economy.
Sure.
So it's very weird how they do it. The government it's not an authoritarian government. They do have very strict rules about things, like drugs for one. I think that they sentenced like 100 people to death last year for bringing drugs in.
They really don't want that.
Exactly.
No.
So yeah, and crime virtually non-existent. I saw maybe 3 police officers the entire time I was there.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's incredible.
You know, you mentioned before the break that your dad lives there. Do you think you could ever live there?
I'm not a fan of the heat.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can't ice fish in Vietnam.
Right, that's also true.
Heat index of 115 a couple days there.
It's a little too hot. And we also do have some photos to share too of the pho spot you were talking about. I mean, some of these dishes just look absolutely incredible.
So we found this little local spot filled with locals, so that's how you know it's good. This bowl of pho and all of the ingredients and the beer was less than $5. You can see all the people there. So good. I put a little extra spice in mine. There's my brother and I at that spot. Pho MOA?
MOA?
I think maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
MOA? That's the new MOA.
But I mean, just amazing fresh ingredients there, and it's super good.
Yes.
Or I was going to say,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Hunter.
I was going to say, are they known for their spice? Like, do you like to add a lot of spice?
Yeah.
Do most of their dishes come already kind of spicy?
No, I would say it's add your own spice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And very quickly, let's talk about a Vietnamese casino.
Yeah.
What was that like? Is it anything like, the casinos up here, Black Bear?
A little bit. It's all electronic tables and stuff. The odds on roulette are better than Vegas, though. And
How is that possible?
Because it's only 0-0 instead of like 000
Gotcha.
on the roulette
Oh.
table, so you get better odds there. So we ended up winning some money. Then that night we went to this street called Walking Street, bunch of clubs and bars, a little too loud for my old ears. But it was a ton of fun, and we met, again, some more people there. We met a Brit, a Aussie, and an Irishman, and we drank with them till about 1 a.m. And it was a ton of fun.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
It does.
right.
Yes, it does.
You have all these awesome experiences. Another one, dinner theater in Vietnam. Like
Yeah.
8 to 9 courses.
Yeah, so this was a beautiful dinner theater thing that we went to, and basically the courses and the culture that they were sharing in the theater started in North Vietnam, and then we traveled south with all of the dishes and then all of the performances in their culture there. I honestly, I didn't understand anything that they were saying, but the interpretive dance and everything was really, really good.
Oh my gosh. And then, of course, you had this awesome trip. We have this awesome, cute photo to share. You had that long journey back and reunited with your daughter, Abby.
Yeah.
What was that moment like when you came back? Especially, it sounds like Cosmo was excited to see you,
Oh,
too.
yeah. So I got back to Duluth at like 10 o'clock at night. So Cosmo got to see me first. Wife and kid was in bed, so Cosmo freaked out for like 30 minutes. Just like wouldn't leave me alone.
Aww.
And then I woke up early with Abby in the morning, and at first she was like, didn't really seem any different, but then like after we sat on the couch and she woke up for a little bit, she started like hugging me a bunch. And like, yeah, she was being super, super cute. Cooked breakfast together, did some bacon and eggs and some toast, good old American breakfast. I will say I love the food over there, but I still like hardcore craved a cheese pizza, a cheeseburger, just American food, which you can still find out there.
That's cool
I saw
too.
some of those photos.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that as
When
much.
you're over there, you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Go ahead.
it seemed like an awesome trip. Hey, for our folks at home, you can always catch Adam here weeknights with Dan and Laura at 5, 6, and 10. And be sure to give him a follow on Facebook, following more of his future adventures. And of course, pictures of Abby and Cosmo. Well, thanks for stopping by, Adam. It was a lot of fun catching up on this trip.
Yeah, it was a great trip. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Coming up, Hunter enjoying another conversation with Dahlberg Law Office.
Northern Legacy on Northern Life is brought to you by Dahlberg Law.
Welcome back, folks. It's time for another edition here with attorney Chris Dahlberg talking about estate planning. And the last time we talked about the whole process if you do have a will.
Right.
Well, now let's say you were a little irresponsible. You didn't go in before you passed away.
Yep.
And now you don't have a will. How does this process work? I assume it's not ideal.
No, it's not. And as I say in technical legal terms, it gets a little squirrely.
That's about perfect right there.
And it can get a little dicey what happens. And then everybody's watching, what's going on, who's going to get what.
Yes.
They might start coming to surface saying, well, he promised me I was going to get the house or I was going to get the car, and he said that. And that doesn't matter at all unless it's, written officially like a will. And so we talked last time about a will, and then, in there it says, here's the executor or the personal representative. Well, without one, there's nobody named. And so then what happens, and I think the big difference is with a will, or if you die intestate without a will, the government or the state is going to determine how your process is. And that's not always ideal.
No, I wouldn't think so.
And so one of the things is like who the personal representative is, there's priorities. And so if there's a surviving spouse, it generally is the spouse. Otherwise, it's the children. And then if you have 4 or 5 children, a lot of times they work out pretty well. If they're all getting along, they just say, well, this person lives up in Duluth, they can take care of it.
Yep.
But sometimes it gets a little dicey. And they're saying, I want to be it, or you can't trust this person, and then it gets really hot.
Because we know how families work. It's not always you keep the best relationship with everybody.
No.
Do you have like a specific example of how this might not be ideal?
Well, I recall years ago somebody called me and said that this person died without a will. Do I need an attorney because they were actually a distant relative. It was like this long-lost Norwegian bachelor cousin. It's an example with lots of land. But he said, do I need to get a will and an attorney? I said, well, normally not. There's a process. If you die without a will, the state's going to say it goes in this order. Well, I said, did anything unusual happen? And they said, well, just before he died, they transferred some land to only a few people. And I said, that's kind of interesting. So it gets a little bit dicey, and we look into this. So that's where, you have to look at what the process is. But normally, if you die without a will, it says it goes this way. It goes often to the children. You can have unusual results.
Yes.
And I sometimes joke in my legal process about the idiot brother. And I mean, you might have a fine brother or whatever it is. But let's say you got that idiot brother you really don't like. If you die without a will and your parents have passed, and you don't have any children, it goes first up to parents, but then it goes back over to your siblings. And you might have two dear sisters that you love, and the one brother that took advantage of everybody and stole money or whatever, he gets as much as the others do because you didn't do a will. And a lot of times this default is not good.
Once you pass away and you don't have a will, is it too late to already, to maybe go and attack and try to get what you feel is rightfully yours?
No, you can. And so, I mean, that's a big thing because what it is, it's a process to make sure everything's fair because somebody might come forward and say, I deserve this, I was his girlfriend or whatever it might be, and he said I'd get it, or there's no family left, I'm the only sibling. And you have to give notice publication, and that's where people start to crawl out of the woodwork and say, well, wait a minute, he did forget he has 3 other brothers or whatever. So lots of things can happen. And so with the intestate process, you have to say, the decedent died, he died on this date, and you say, who are all the family that were there at the time?
Definitely. And I know that this next subject that we're going to be talking about when we go into our next couple of weeks is going to be something that a lot of people have in common, which is owning cabins up here.
Oh, yeah.
And talking about how that works when somebody passes away. So
that can get really unusual, too. And again, that technical term, squirrely.
Yes, I feel like these can get very squirrely.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
I love to be here. It's a good time.
This is awesome. Yes. All right, when we're done here today, you can find more fun on northernnewsnow.com. There, I'm going to be sharing more about my family vacation up in Orr, Minnesota, including a few photos and all sorts of stories. A long time up there. It was a beautiful trip and a lot of fish, a lot of fun.
Check out that bass.
That's a pretty nice bass right there,
that
if I have to say so. That's a 19-incher. So we measured that one, and it was a fantastic catch.
Do you throw that back?
Yes. Okay. Yep, you throw that back. And actually, right now in this time of season, you have to throw it back.
Sure.
So, yep, it's not official that you can keep that quite yet. So pretty cool to catch that. Caught a few northerns and things like that. And oh my gosh, it was just a beautiful time.
As you can tell, I'm an avid angler. So
yes, exactly.
I know all these rules and regulations.
Hey, you're going up to the old Boundary Waters. You're going to be catching some stuff.
We'll try. So be sure to find that chat over at northernnewsnow.com under the Northern Life tab. But before we go, with kids thinking about summer, it is important to still show up to class. And a high school senior named Zoe Atkins has had perfect attendance from kindergarten to senior year. Atkins' parents say they supported her on her journey and are super proud of her. Atkins will now be going to college to be a business finance major on the pre-law track too.
Well, that sounds like the perfect profession for her. How on earth do you do that
I don't
for
know.
that long? You have to have a sick day every once in a while.
I loved my sick days. So I'm happy I took a couple.
You're right. You gotta relax every once in a while. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you.
We'll catch you tomorrow.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.